Hello there, welcome to Agritalk. Today we'll be discussing about biogas production, and we are at Biogas International, and they will be telling us how you convert this biogas into fertilizer and also gas for your kitchen. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi. Join me as we start this. All right, today we are joined by Luis Ngugi, who is here to just explain to us this process of biogas production. Niaje?
Mzuri sana.
Uko fiti?
Niko fit kabisa.
All right, just explain to us how this process starts.
Yeah, so what we have here, this is, it's called Flexi Biogas System. So Flexi Biogas is a new innovation in biogas that does not require any construction or digging. So this is the digester. Yeah. So the digester has an inlet and an outlet on the other end. And now on the inlet, a unique feature about this system is that it runs on any organic waste.
All right.
Yeah. So like cow dung, pig dung, chicken dung. Apart from the animal waste, you can still use waste like kitchen vegetable waste, food remainder, market waste. Yeah. So everything, you just mix the waste with water in a ratio of 1:1.
Okay.
And then you introduce it. Now here we have the inlet.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let me just ask, for example, you've said the inlet to this is that one?
Just here, yeah.
Is this one over here?
Yeah.
So do we get waste immediately and we throw maybe peels of bananas, mango that has reached a stage of rotting?
Yeah.
Do you just throw it there, or there's a process that it goes through in order to make it available to just enter this inlet?
So the waste goes in as fresh as it comes. So you don't keep the waste somewhere or pile it somewhere and then let it rot. So when it's still fresh, example, if it's now the kitchen vegetable waste, the food remainder, just mix it with water and pour it inside the digester. Yeah, this is a grinding machine. We're using it to grind what is in this container. This is market waste. We get market waste from Ngong.
All right.
From the traders at Ngong. Have the mangoes, the bananas, the melon, just the normal market waste. Then we grind it using this machine just to make it pulpy. And then now we feed what comes out, as you can see over there.
On this side?
Yeah, it's like porridge form. Yeah. So that is what goes inside the digester.
So that is what we put here?
Yeah, that is what now we put here.
Okay.
Yeah. Once it goes inside, it starts decomposing naturally. And as it decomposes, it makes this bag to swell. See, this bag is swollen?
Yes, it's swollen.
Yeah, now that is gas that is trapped in there.
All right.
Yeah, so the gas, we tap it using this pipe. Yeah. So this pipe goes straight to the point of use now, like in the kitchen.
All right.
Yeah, in for water heating, in your oven. You know, there are all these applications that you can use the gas for.
All right. And this specific, do you have a place where you buy this specific material from? This material, this one.
Yeah. Well, this technology is basically, it's made in Kenya, and everything we just source it from, is sourced locally.
All right.
Yeah, as you see, we are using readily available materials like the pipe, you know, this. So that means even if there's a breakage or something, it's very easy for you to repair it, because you know, all the materials are just sourced from you know, local hardware stores.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now let us just get a little deeper into this. So we have the waste.
Yes.
It has been grinded, and then you feed it. You feed this through this pipe.
Yes.
For example, how long does it take for it to produce gas when it's here?
So what happens is, example, when we come to install the system, we start it off using cow dung, because cow dung has the right culture of nutrients for decomposition. We started off using about 400 kilos of waste. That's like half a pickup load. So we mix the waste with water and train the user, or, you know, on feeding. Then the waste sits in the bag or the digester for 2 to 5 days or a week. So after a week, you'll notice that the digester has started swelling, and that means gas production has started. Now from there, you'll just feed it. All you'll need to do is just feed it 1 bucket of waste every day. So the process is continuous. Yeah. So once the system has already started producing gas, every day, every day you feed it, you know, gas production will still continue.
All right.
Yeah.
And for example, I believe there's some inside there.
Yeah.
So after maybe you've used the gas,
Yes.
now do you just leave it like that and say maybe you are going to put it the next day? So, or you put the waste immediately after you've used the gas?
Well, after you've used the gas, you'll notice that the bag has inflated. It's gone down, and that means you need to feed it again. So it will depend on you know, your gas usage. Your gas usage is what determines how often you feed it.
Okay.
So we advise our clients to feed the digester on a daily basis. Just the 1 bucket of waste is enough to give you gas for cooking the whole day. You know, breakfast, lunch, dinner. You boil even water for bathing. So a whole day's cooking. And then you find some of our clients, they come and tell us, you see, the digester is swollen this way. You know, so for them, we'll tell them, you know, they can reduce the feeding to the same bucket of waste 2 or 3 a week. And they'll still have enough gas. Yeah.
And so, for example, this digester,
Yeah.
where can we use the gas from here? Is it available to be used maybe in factories or in just a domestic homestead? Because I can see the size.
Yeah.
And maybe so can a factory say we are coming up with this and then we want to use this size to
Yes.
In our maybe daily operations?
Well, we have various models. We have biogas for domestic use and for commercial use. So for domestic use, it's this size.
Oh, this is for domestic.
For our this one is, we call it the standard model. It's in terms of measurement, it's 1.5 meters by 6 meters, and its gas capacity is 6 cubic. Yeah, so this one is basically for families, and then now for factories, for now commercial use, for markets, you know, institutions like universities. Now we have the commercial biogas system, which is it's right over here. So now, depending on your energy requirements, we can always design a system that will meet that capacity.
All right.
Yeah. So this one is basically for domestic use, and then now for commercial use, like for factories, now we have bigger systems for running, you know, the factories.
All right.
Yeah.
Now we'll get to the big ones.
Yeah.
But now let us look at this, because I can see the pipe is connected.
Yes.
It's connected to
To the bag.
to that middle part. What does that mean? Because does that mean that the gas comes directly from there to the house, or what is this pipe for?
Yeah, so this digester is pillow shaped. So you know, you can imagine a pillow, the highest point is usually at the middle. So that's the point where we tap the gas from, right at the middle. Yeah. So, and then now the gas goes straight now to like to the kitchen. Yes.
All right. So this is what gets the gas out.
Yes, yes.
All
This
right.
is the gas line.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to know now what is on this other side.
Yeah. What's here? This is now the outlet. So basically, our digester is like your digestive system, where you have your mouth, you chew your food, food goes to the stomach, and then after it's digested, it automatically exits your system. So this is a replica. It has the mouth on the inlet, and then now the stomach. Yeah. And then now here we have now the outlet. So in this system, it's what comes out is very rich organic fertilizer, and it comes out by itself. So once, example, you say you feed 1 bucket of waste, fresh waste on the inlet.
Yes.
On this other side, you'll get 1 bucket of now very rich organic fertilizer. So once it's got inside the digester, it's fully broken down and released its gas potential, which is now biogas. And then now what comes out is the nutrients that were trapped in those fruits, in those, you know, the kind of waste that you put in there. So now, so what comes out in liquid form. You just apply it directly to the roots of plants. You can spray it on you can dilute it and then spray it on the leaves of plants. It acts as a very good foliar or an insect repellent. Yeah.
All right. And now I'm very curious to just want to know the gas that comes out through that pipe.
Yeah.
Is straightly going to the kitchen.
Yes.
And it's going to act just like the normal K gas that people use, or explain to me about that.
Methane gas now is the safest gas in the world. Yeah, it will never explode. So as you'll see in the kitchen, it's you know, a blue flame.
So this you've said is just for the homestead, for a family of 4 people.
Yeah. For small families of 4 to 6 people.
For families of 4 to 6 people.
Yeah.
All right. And then now we have the waste that goes to the shamba.
Yes.
And as we can see the shamba is very, you can see the plants there are really telling you that we are being fed well. The nutrients are just all over the place. All right, so what is this? What is exactly, they look like meters for electricity.
Yeah. So these are just gas meters, and you're taking, you're measuring the gas volumes produced from the standard model.
All right.
For the family of 4 to 6 people, from the commercial digester, which is this sitting here, and then we have an extra large model, so on this other side.
All right.
So far we know the standard model for the small families is producing enough gas to meet energy requirements for the families of 4 to 6 people. And the extra large model is producing twice the amount of gas than the standard model. So now for the extra large model, for the extra gas, you can still use it in doing things like domestic chicken brooding. You can do domestic baking, you know, hot showers. There are all these other appliances
that we can use the gas for.
I'm
really curious. There's something going on here. Can you just see how this is done? So what is he doing right now? Sorry.
Yeah. So what's happening is Rafael is just taking this waste, putting it in drums. So you have digesters in estates and in homesteads, and the people don't have, you know, we can call it feedstock for feeding the digester. So we supply, you know, the different homesteads with the already grinded waste.
All right.
Yeah. So 1 bucket is enough for doing cooking for a day or 2. Yeah.
And for example, what if you need the whole drum? Like I can see he wants to fill the whole drum.
Yes.
So how can maybe can it take like a week or 2 days?
Well, when it's a whole drum, it will last. These are 145-liter drum, so this will last for about 2 weeks.
For about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. So in this system, you just need one bucket. It's really enough for meeting all your domestic energy needs.
For a day.
For a day.
One bucket.
Yeah.
All right. So we've seen this being fed into a drum.
Yes.
All right. So how much of this goes to the commercial that you've explained, the bigger biodigester?
Yes. So we have this digester over here. We call it the T-Rex. This is a T-Rex 30, meaning it produces 30,000 liters of gas every day. So this one, we install it in farms, like poultry farms, in pig farms, in schools. Yeah, in schools is where you have a lot of food wastage, a lot of kitchen vegetable waste.
Yes.
In campuses. So basically areas with, high energy demand. We also install it in markets for managing, organic waste from the markets. Yeah. So this one is basically for large capacity use.
For large capacity use. So how many kilograms does this commercial biodigester take?
Yeah, so for this size, this one takes in 400 kilos of waste. That's the maximum feeding rate you can feed it. So this one is medium commercial. We have small commercial, which is like half of this digester, and then large commercial, which is like twice this digester. So like the large commercial, we have a system that we call it the T-Rex 50, T50. That one produces 50,000 liters of gas every day, and it takes in about 800 kilos of waste per day. The small commercial, we call it a T-Rex T15. That one produces 15,000 liters of gas every day. In terms of waste, it takes in about 200 kilos of waste in a day. That's the maximum you can feed it.
All right.
So again, also like for farmers, for markets, these areas, depending on the waste generated, we can always design a digester to manage that waste. So the commercial system, it's a multi chamber digester. So that is chamber 1, this is chamber 2.
This one here?
Yeah.
This is chamber 2, okay.
Chamber 3, that to chamber 4, chamber 5. It's designed this way so that just in case maybe there's an injury or something has happened to chamber 2, you can repair it, and the other chambers continue producing gas independently. Yeah, or if maybe you've utilized gas from chamber, let's say 2, you can just close it using this valve. So basically each chamber has its own, is tapping gas from its own space.
All right.
Yeah.
And
then,
so,
yeah.
I'm curious, I think you'll just continue, but I'm curious too, there are two, is it biodigesters? There's the one on top, and then there's the one on the bottom.
Yeah.
So are they serving the same purpose, or?
Yeah, so they serve the same purpose. So this lower one, the red one, it's tapping gas from that section of the digester. Then because gas production happens every time, you find that all the balloons are swollen this way and gas production is still happening. So excess gas is stored in this
so the upper one is
storage
excess
balloons.
gas.
Exactly.
All
Yeah.
right.
So these balloons are just storing storing excess gas. So when you want to run things like machinery, or doing things like chicken brooding, you can always run it off from the stored gas, and then you use the other gas for other uses.
All right. And I'm also curious,
Yes.
do these biodigesters ever burst? Because sometimes the gas can be so much, can be a lot. So do you have cases where maybe they burst?
Well, on this system, it has a safety mechanism. Like on the domestic system, on the mouth of the digester, we have a pipe that basically seals the mouth of the digester. So now, what happens is if there's excess gas and you've not utilized the gas, the digester usually bursts out its zips. So you wouldn't want your digester to get there. So you just when you see it swollen, it means you just do something with the gas. You can boil water, and boil you can cook githeri, yeah, just to utilize the gas.
Okay.
But in case the zip comes off, you can. It's very easy to seal it. So we train our clients. When we're installing, part of the training is how to assemble the digester, how to feed it, how to troubleshoot whenever there are little problems. Yeah.
So what are the favorable temperatures under which a biodigester thrives very well?
Yeah, so the digester thrives on just the normal body temperature, because when you look at the microorganisms that are inside the digester, they're just the same body, the same temperature as mammals, between 25 and 36 degrees. So that's the right temperature for microorganisms to thrive and just be natural in there.
And for a farmer who wants to maybe include the biodigester in the farm,
Yeah.
and you have this changing weather patterns, you never know, maybe it's raining, there's sun. So what is the advice that you can give them to make sure that they maintain it in the right temperature? Because the temperatures sometimes go up to 19 degrees.
Yeah. So for the digester, we cover it with a greenhouse. And then on the greenhouse cover, we add a shade net cover, something similar to this. So that's the greenhouse cover actually, it sets a micro climate inside the digester. So when there is excessive sunlight, the temperatures in there are also hot, and that means gas production is high because the waste is digesting at a faster rate. When it's cold and it's covered with the greenhouse, you still find that the temperatures in there are still optimum for for the microorganisms, which is 25 to 36 degrees. Yeah. So the greenhouse cover actually now it sets the right temperatures for decomposition to happen. Yeah.
So if someone can't get the greenhouse cover, can they use any other material different?
Well, when we send we sell the digester, it's inclusive of the the digester bag, the piping, the greenhouse cover, and the shade cover, a double burner stove. So it's inclusive of the whole package. You won't have to go somewhere else to outsource these materials. So it comes as a package, and then the system will last for over 15 years. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And now the double burner stove, what is its importance in such a process?
Yeah, a lot of people know biogas is for cooking. So the stove comes together with the biogas digester, because now that's how you'll get to utilize the gas. And biogas is not just a cooking solution. You can do things like fruit and vegetable drying. You can do things like water heating or showers. You can run machineries like for like a chaff cutter or generators. I mean, there are all these appliances that you can do with the energy. So you say biogas is just the same as your other regular energy forms.
All right.
Yeah. So this basically, the lady is feeding her biogas system. One gas diversion goes to the kitchen. Another one comes into a generator. So we modify generators, whether it's a diesel generator or a petrol generator, to run on 20% diesel or petrol and 80% biogas. The 20% is just for starting up the engine. As soon as it starts, biogas flows in, and now from the generator you can run your chaff cutter, you can plug in your milking machines, your hammer mills, or you basically power your whole farm.
All right, we have seen the biodigester. We have also seen the grinder, which grinds the waste into a liquid form, and then it's put into the biodigester. Right now, we are going for a short break. We'll be back with more. Welcome back. This is Agritalk. Today we are talking about biogas production. We've already seen the biodigester and how it works and some of the uses of the gas. Right now we are just going to move to the shamba and see how the bio waste is converted into fertilizer and how it helps the plants to grow.
This is a drip irrigation system, and now the fertilizer that comes out of the biogas digester, it comes out in liquid form. So that fertilizer, we pump it to two overhead tanks over here, and then now it drips down through the drip line by gravity now to this we call vertical gardens.
What is the importance of this?
Yeah, so vertical gardening is it's like an improved method of farming where, you know, when people want to plant things in urban areas, you're challenged with space. People are used to planting in sacks. And sack gardening, what happens is over time, the soil compacts and, you know, the roots of plants are not able to spread the roots. But on this vertical gardens, you find that each plant is on its own independent space. Like this plant, it's on its own space here. These plants are there on their own space.
Yes.
So so they are able to spread their roots very easily as compared to you know, the sack gardening. Yeah. So the liquid fertilizer, since now it's liquid, it just flows directly. Yeah, through the drip system.
All right.
Even without the drip, using vertical gardens, it's very easy to water. You just come with a can, you know, a jerrycan, and go around, and you're done, you know, watering. When it comes to weeding, you just weed the plants as, you know, when you're standing, you're just farming while standing. Yeah.
All right. Down over there we have now the normal chamber that you are used to, and we don't have this vertical chambers. So we are just going to move down there and look at the normal chamber that is on the ground, which has been segmented into some parts, and then we'll be able to see kale, we'll be able to see onions, and see how this system has been used on the other side. All right, we are at the edge of the vertical gardens that Luis had shown us earlier. And as you can see, this is the end of vertical ones. And then we have the normal way of planting that we are used to. And we have Josephat there who we are going to meet just in a few. Josephat, hi, how are you? You're good?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. And tumeona waste kwa biodigester na tukaambiwa kwamba inaletwa kwa shamba.
Yeah.
So hebu tu explain hiyo process vile huwa mnafanya na importance yake ni gani kwa mimea?
Hiyo waste ya bioslurry hiyo inatusaidia ikitoka kwa system ya biogas inatusaidia kwa shamba kutengeneza mboga ikuwe healthy kabisa. Tena inasaidia ukispray kwa matawi wadudu kama wako, ina reduce wadudu.
Oh, yeah. So pia ina act kama fertilizer, si ndio?
Yeah.
Unaweza itumia hiyo peke yake bila kununua fertilizer nyingine. Unaweza tumia tu hiyo for...
Yes, utaweza kuitumia kwa muda mrefu sana. Kwa maana inasaidia, haina effect yoyote. Yeah.
So all these plants hizi imetumia hiyo waste kama fertilizer, si ndio?
Kabisa imetumia.
Yeah. Okay. So ukituexplainia pia tunaona hapa kuna land yenye bado iko haina mimea.
Yeah.
So hebu tuexplainia nini inaendelea hapa exactly?
Hapa nilikuwa na spinach lakini nimeitoa. Sasa nimefanya preparation, nimechukua compost, nimeweka. Sasa nataka kuweka type ingine ya mimea.
Oh, yeah. Type ingine?
Yeah.
All right. So kuna difference gani between hii type of kuplant na ile yenye tumeona uko ile vertical, ile yenye inaenda juu?
Ya vertical ni mzuri, inachukua space kidogo lakini unapata mimea mingi. Lakini ya chini inachukua space kubwa, lakini mimea sio mingi sana.
Okay, na hiyo bio waste, hiyo waste yenye tunatoa kutoka kwa biodigester, inasaidia aje the soil? Inaiongezea nutrients ama hebu tu explain hiyo, kwa sababu plants zimewekwa kwa shamba, alafu hiyo pia inaongezwa hapo. So ni nutrients gani inaongeza kwa soil yenye inaweza saidia mimea kugrow?
Inaongeza nutrients ya kusaidia mimea ikue mzuri kabisa.
Alright.
Ukiona kama iko weak, ita make ikue kuja strong and health. Hiyo ndio sababu.
Okay. Na sasa hiyo waste huwa unaweka for how long? Una apply for how long kama fertilizer?
Sasa nafanya hivi kwa wiki, naipatia mara 2 kwa wiki.
So hiyo ni 7 days ama ni 5 days?
7 days and then so kama naipatia Monday, nitaipatia kitu kama Saturday.
Ukipatia Monday pia unaipatia Saturday. So hiyo waste like ni every week unaipatia mara mbili. Na sasa for example hiyo waste ikikuja, kuna ingine inakuanga very unajua iko na a lot of nutrients mpaka unasema hii nikiweka itaharibu hii mimea kidogo, ama inakuanga all the time iko balanced?
I think inakuanga all the balance because sijaona ikiwa strong sana ama weak, iko the same.
Alright, na kuna vile huwa unapima ama unaweka tu ama huwa unapima aje?
Napima. Niko na mita yenye napimanga, ikiwa na acidity sana inanionyesha. Sasa I cannot use it, lakini kiona iko low najua iko sawa.
So kuna sometimes the waste inakwanga na a lot of acid, inakwanga acidity yake iko juu. And is it sometimes does the soil have low acidity?
Yes, mpaka nipime tena mchanga nijue iko na low acidity ama hapana. Na
ikiwa nayo kama for example upime upate iko na acidity yenye ni low, wewe unafanya nini kuimprove the structure ndio ikuje vizuri at a manageable level?
So I take compost, I make compost, then I start to use it, kuitumia mchanga, nikabadilisha hiyo mchanga mpaka wakati itarudi chini.
Na sasa for example umeapply kwa mchanga yenye ilikuwa na low acidity na umerudisha imekuwa vizuri. So inatekingi how long do irudi vizuri? Ukiapply for example umeapply leo Monday ama Saturday vile wewe una apply for example, will it take like 2 weeks ama 1 week ndio irudi vizuri?
Ikiwa na acidity mingi.
Ikiwa na wakati unataka kutengeneza soil sasa irudi vizuri. Inatekingi how long after umeapply?
Inachukua tuseme it can take even 2 months. So si immediately ukiweka hii wiki sasa next week. Unajua mtu anaweza sema mimi zinataka kuapply hii wiki ndio next week nipande. So ina take 2 months. Okay. Alright, so unaweza tuonyesha tu around, tuonyeshe exactly plants gani mmepanda hapa. So Josephat is going to take us around and show us some of the plants that they've put under this shamba, and then we'll see how they are nourishing, how they are taking in the bio waste from the biodigester.
We started 2009. I was given a challenge to solve the problem of a community behind Nairobi National Park from felling trees. They were selling the trees for charcoal makers who were feeding the charcoal to the growing Kitengela population. So I proposed a flexible domestic biogas system. That was our first launch of our domestic systems. After rolling those out for about 1.5 or 2 years, we realized that wherever we were taking the biogas plants, nobody was using firewood. The users were using firewood. Nobody was using charcoal. So, and firewood is collected. Nobody cuts down trees to get firewood. So we were not meeting our objective. Of course, we were relieving a lot of stress from the rural people who were benefiting from the domestic biogas systems. There's a lot of health benefits from it, and of course there's a fertilizer benefit and the time-saving benefit. But we weren't saving the trees in any way. So we said, well, let's follow the charcoal trail. Let's see where does this lead us. And the charcoal trail, any road you look at, you get onto in Kenya and probably all around Africa, all the charcoal leads into town. So it's the urban, low-income populations that use charcoal as their fuel. And that's where the charcoal was going from the community in the back of the Nairobi National Park to who are providing charcoal to Kitengela. Sorry, to Kitengela town and the environs around there. So we said, okay, fine. How do we solve? Let's go back to our original objective, which was to solve the charcoal problem. Let's look at how can we put biogas in town. And we went through the whole compression thing, putting it in bottles. Very, very fun but expensive experimentation. We learned that biogas it can be put in bottles, but it's not practically viable. The easiest way to get gas to people in town is to put the digester where the people are. The people in town generate the organic waste. So you clean up the organic waste, go straight in the digester where the people are, and you pipe the gas into either communal kitchens or directly into commercial kitchens, and you offset the charcoal in that way. To the next level was now the municipal waste management, because now once you start getting into large capacity organic material waste, of course, the biggest place where you're going to find the most organic waste is in marketplaces. 60 to 70% of the fruit and vegetables that are grown in Africa end up in the landfill or end up going to waste. A huge percentage ends up in the landfill. The landfills drip juices down into the rivers and turn the rivers black. At the same time, they release huge amounts of greenhouse gas. Those greenhouse gases are methane. That's flammable gas. But when it's diluted in the atmosphere and you can't capture it, then of course it's useless to you. But these are all contributing to global warming. So once you have put your digester in the middle of town where the population is, all of that organic material that's going in the digester was made up of nutrients that were pulled out of the soil on some farm somewhere. So it is actually nutrients. Instead of throwing it away down the rivers, ends up in the lakes, ends up in the sea, while it's in the freshwater basins, it's creating huge menaces with the water hyacinth and all of those sort of things. But when you put it in a digester, you get back the minerals and the nutrients in a form that roots can uptake very, very easily. So the actual output from the digester, which is a biofertilizer, is actually more valuable than the gas itself in terms of shillings and cents. It is a liquid, so it's a bit heavy to transport. That's why we make compost with some of it, and then we impregnate the compost with the liquid and then dry it again. So now you have a enriched compost for applying to farms. So what we're doing in effect is we're creating a circular economy around the nutrients. The nutrients come from the farm, they come into the town. The ones that don't get eaten end up going back into the biogas digester, back into fertilizer, back to the farm, into new food, come back into town. So it takes it all out of the rivers. So we're keeping the rivers, we're stopping the rivers from getting contaminated. Cleaning rivers, if you keep them clean, you don't need to clean them. All the plastics and the papers and those bottles you see being cleaned up around river banks, that's cosmetic. It's cleaning the river sides. The river is the water. If you're not cleaning the water, then you're not really cleaning the river. You're making it look nice, but you're not actually cleaning it. So our objective is to get all of those people who are interested in cleaning the rivers, get involved in these programs, and let's go back to how do we stop that contaminant getting into the water in the first place. Once you stop the organic material going into the water, by default, you've already stopped the plastics. So you won't have plastics and what have you collecting on the riverbanks. Well, the model here is decentralized waste management, which means that we don't have a Dandora. Ngong town is you know, it's a stone throw away. It's not, we're in town actually. And the amount of land we're using is tiny compared to the amount of that it would cost in moving this waste to a landfill and managing it there. They would never make that in terms of rent. So trade-wise, it makes much more sense to have small pockets scattered around every town and manage the waste at source in all those pockets. You've taken away all of those trucks, you've taken away the need for a landfill in the first place, so your rivers are automatically clean, and you created numerous jobs. So if every town can adopt this concept and just have modular recycle centers or recycle recovery centers, you know, everywhere where you have organic bulk waste collecting, you know, minimizing the transport of the waste is key to stopping it from getting mixed. Once it's mixed, it's just not cost effective to separate. So having modular recycle recovery centers where you are stopping the waste from getting mixed, that is the key to having you know, sustainable, renewable and recycling material. Nobody likes recycling dirty rubbish. It's much easier when it's kept clean. The plastic, people want clean plastic. The glass, people want clean glass. We want clean organic. We don't want the diapers and what have you in it. The diapers go into the incinerator and we recover the heat. So the diapers actually become a fuel source for creating energy. And that energy is hot water now, can be used for many different micro enterprises. Laundry, showers, drying fruits and vegetables, all sorts of things. It's basically hot water. Like as I said, the key to the successful recycle center is separating the waste at source. And then it's very, very easy to manage.
Today we have learnt a lot on biogas production. We have seen the process of bio-waste. We have seen the waste from when they are collected into the biodigester and eventually also converted as fertilizer for the farm. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi. Let's meet next time, same place at Agritalk.